What's up, everybody? This is David McNally here with Four Shot Pickleball. I'm here with my good friend Alex Spancake, the creator of the Pickleball. Today, we're going to break down one of the matches that I posted on my YouTube page, a gold medal match between myself and my partner Ryan Kane against Peyton Noyes and Matt Ferris. We're going to explore some of the analytics of the match. Alex developed this software through the Pickleball.
Well, so Pickleball is at its core, a database of pickleball data, competitive pickleball data. The whole goal of the project is to bring stats, data, and analytics to the world of pickleball. The game is so young and there's so much to learn, and people have done great analyses so far, but the amount of data available to research, whether it be into specific matches or into the game on aggregate, it's still pretty limited. And so this project attempts to bring that into pickleball. Right now, there are like I think 20 or 30,000 shots in the Pickleball, ranging over 30 or 40 matches. So it's pretty exciting. Like having shot level data is really cool. And we're going to take a look at this match. There is a report for it that we're going to go and break down, and hope you enjoy.
Oh, yeah. Report.
Oh, yeah. All right. But what do you remember from this match?
Okay. I remember that this was the gold medal match. My partner and I, Ryan, came through the winner's bracket side, so we knew that we had this 2 out of 3 match and a game to 15 if necessary. So we were both feeling pretty confident. We had already played Peyton and Matt earlier in the bracket. I think it was we had a bye in the first round, and we ended up playing them in our first match. It was their second match of the bracket. Initially, it was a round robin that seeded into a double elimination bracket. So we had already played them before. We had beat them in one game to 15. But I remember actually they were up 6-0 in the first time we played each other. So I was confident that we were going to pull it out, as we'd already had a win on them earlier in the day. But I also felt that, hey, like they took it to us pretty well in the beginning of the match. So I knew that we needed to really shut them out, and I was not interested in playing in a game to 15 with them.
So you beat them in the second round of the playoffs. So they had to make a big run through losers to get back to gold.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's right. So yeah, I remember that we dropped the first game. I remember that Ryan and I, throughout the whole tournament, we basically played straight up, and were successful. Like we went undefeated in pool play, and we actually ended up going undefeated in the bracket. But I do remember that kind of when things got a little dicey in terms of like needing to play our best pickleball. We ended up putting me on the left and Ryan on the right. I think are both our most comfortable sides. So I remember in the first game, Peyton and Matt went up early on us, and Ryan and I started stacking kind of in the middle towards the end of the game. But I remember it was like a little too late to change the outcome of the first game, and we dropped the first one. And then for the second and third game, as I remember, I think we stacked the entire time. And we took those two down pretty resoundingly. So
Did you have do you remember your shot selection? Were you like trying to target it all, trying to get in the kitchen?
I do remember this. Maybe it doesn't come across in the film, but I remember that Peyton was cramping. So just kind of my shot selection the whole tournament was like third shot drive, fifth shot drop. For me, that was just kind of like my best pattern to like find a good transition, create some early pressure. So I remember doing a lot of that. I don't really remember like trying to play to either one of them, even though Peyton was cramping. He was actually being really aggressive. Like he just was like ripping pretty much every ball or attacking every ball he got to look at, and was actually very successful with that in game one.
Yeah, for what it's worth, Peyton, I could not tell you were cramping. I thought he was fun.
Yeah. Well, this is a edited video, and in between games, he was like sucking down mustard. From shout out to Frank Meredith, the person who organized this tournament, but he is a great tournament organizer and always brings sandwiches and mayonnaise and of course mustard to the tournament. So Peyton was sucking down mustard in between games.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
What was your favorite sandwich? There's the right answer.
Yeah, I feel like I end up always going for the roast beef and just slathering it with mustard.
Okay.
But yeah, I fucked with the PB&J.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
And no one ever eats steak. It's like, oh, this is on me. Gosh, that's good.
Yeah. It's all about the sandwiches. Yeah, Frankie, you got to put a sandwich on your next pickleball shirt.
You want to get in the match?
Yeah. So.
All right. So this is the report. There are 4 main sections here. First section is summary. Then we look at third shots. We'll take a closer look at some kitchen rallies, and then finally, everyone's favorite airs.
Honestly, yeah, that's probably my favorite part of the Pickle Mart is like exactly figuring out what was the air, right? Is there a specific angle that continually was making an error on? Was it a return to serve, which has been a shot that I've been trying to improve a lot upon recently. So I love that the Pickle Mart just allows me to just kind of go right to what I want to improve upon. I think that's one of the best features of this program.
Thank you. I think in terms of the errors, there's gonna be some insight there. But let's start with the just taking a look at the rally lengths. I can tell you right now. So the 99 rallies, you hit like basically 850 shots in this match overall. The 8.5 shots per rally is like, I think pros are usually between like 9 and 12. So it's like slightly short, which I think speaks to your point of like, I think from the right side, there's just a lot of speed ups.
Yeah, and I think really Peyton was in his like true form. I think that shots per rally would be a little higher, but I think because he was cramping, he was interested in just shortening the rallies, which he was effective at.
I will say, only 4% of rallies, 2 shots or less. Like, very few serve returners, which to me at least indicates like pretty good level of quality.
Well, also one thing, this wasn't an indoor tournament, so we had our like variables in terms of like the wind and the sun, all that. Those that never came into play. So I think that also maybe speaks to why we're able to keep the serves and the returns in mostly.
Nice. What else we got in the summary here? Here we go. So this is game by game, person by person, and it's actually a new feature. So you can see this is game 1, right? You can see Matt hit 89 balls. Wow. Peyton hit 48. Pretty big difference. That was playing bluff though.
Yeah.
I think you guys might, and I think most of the sustained dink rallies involved him.
Yeah.
So that kind of tracks. And then you hit 60 more balls than Ryan. I think you were playing bluff the whole time.
In the first game, it was only maybe like from like the second half of the game.
Okay. There are 4 different kinds of shots that are categorized. So errors are pretty self-explanatory. This includes unforced errors as well. And then winners, straight winner or a body bag someone.
Okay.
On return, that's just any ball that you hit that the opponents don't manage to return back.
Okay.
So it could be a winner or it could just be like a good shot. And then assists, they're kind of tricky. So, yeah, if Ryan or you pull someone out wide with your game, and then Ryan then goes and finishes with an earning, you get an assist on that. If you hit a ball prior to the unreturned ball.
Oh, that's really smart.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, assist, or like maybe what's more known in the pickleball world is like a setup.
Exactly. Like I think what you were saying about Peyton's game where he's played really aggro.
Yeah.
Tracks like, he had a lot of winners. He didn't really set that up. Just kind of went for it.
Yeah. And actually, only Matt had 1 assist because in some sense, Peyton was just creating his own his own offense, which is a very good thing to be able to do.
Yeah. I think errors are usually like the most predictive of outcomes. I think they were definitely, I think they set the tone, especially in game one. You can see slightly higher return counts. Errors are pretty much the same. What was the score of that first game?
11-7, I think.
7. Yeah, it's like pretty tight. Yeah. It is interesting though, if you look across games, like I think the percent of shots hit by each player remains pretty steady. But like if you look at the number of errors you guys made game 2, like you each made 3.
Mm-hmm.
Over the course of like 80 balls each. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. And I think yourself can take the you went kind of ham on game 2. I mean, like 13 shots that went unreturned. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, one of my mantras this tournament and kind of more recently as I've been playing is be big, like be big, especially in the middle. Like I try to like before a rally starts, I'm like jumping. I'm telling myself like be big, and to me that means like take balls in the middle, like put some extra mustard on those balls, and yeah, just like do what I know that I can do in ref, and just do it in the tournament. Like hit big shots, make people uncomfortable. And yeah, I think that like the unreturned category there really does speak to that. Me executing my kind of game plan, my style when I impose.
And you did the same thing in game 3, both of you guys.
Yeah, well, that's I love to see that from Ryan. It's huge.
Oh yeah. Look at Ryan with 6 assists.
Yeah. Yeah, he must have put up 10 assists, right, in 3 games.
Ryan is really the Rajon Rondo of pickleball.
Yeah, huge hands too. He needs like 6 overgrips after. But yeah, no, that is true. I mean, I will say that was the first time Ryan and I had played in a tournament. I played a bunch of rep with him, kind of starting this summer of 2022. And yeah, it was the first time I played with him in a tournament. And yeah, I will say like he was the steadiest right side player that I've ever had on my team before. I would say even mixed or men's, like straight up, he played so well, and I think that also gave me confidence to just roam and try to be big. And he was directly telling me that. I remember he was like, "I want to be the setup guy. I want you to have free range," is what he said, free range of the court. So, yeah, credit to him. He was a really, really good partner to play with, and I think he's also a hell of a player on the left side too. This, I think, was probably our best 1-2 combo, me on the left and him being Rondo on the right.
Pickleball needs to get some more like stacking effect in this data. That's a good point. But let's look at this shot heat map here. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. So, I don't know how much this is going to tell us, but you can see some heat and matter on the top. This actually reflects where you guys hit the ball, so where they made contact.
Okay.
So, again, a little more focus on the left side. These are usually serves returns, so like, courts are pretty equal.
Right. You have to serve in each other box.
Yep. And I mean, their heat map looks pretty similar. This is a classic righty-righty matchup right here.
Right, that's true. All players are righty in the sport.
Yeah.
So probably more cross-court dinks, backhand to backhand. But besides that, pretty standard distribution, you'd say.
Yeah, I mean, you guys definitely played a little more in transition zone relative to them. It's not really good or a bad thing. I actually thought you guys played really well in like this middle third of the court.
Yeah, actually, I will say I think that's important for me. I think I've been kind of coming into the game thinking that I need to just like come up like way too much, too fast, too often. So actually, I will say I am happy to see. I'm sure a lot of these were Ryan too. so I don't want to just pat myself on the back for something I didn't do. But I think I was kind of telling myself like, hey, take an extra shot or two in the transition zone, be controlled, use my split step. Don't just try to like obviously when I was coaching, I was trying to cover this space right here with like one step, but otherwise I was taking like one or two shots when I felt like I needed to play a more defensive position. So this is good for me. I actually, this is kind of where I want my game to go, especially after having some experience at the pro level. I think I need to really like learn to love this transition zone and earn my transitions.
To your point, I take that out. Yeah, here we go. Shot type frequencies. Like, this is standard across most matches. Most of the shots in a match, or the highest percentage of shots for any shot type, come in the transition zone. Mm-hmm. Like, that's over a quarter of your shots.
Yeah. So that also kind of says, like, when you actually do get your opportunities to drill, like, I think a lot of people love to work on their thirds, a lot of people like to work on their dinks, but, you know.
And this number, this 1.8%, that's like the lowest I've seen in any match.
Wow.
That's really good.
I'm sure that's mostly Ryan. I think I did well too there, but I will say I think that's where Ryan really shines.
Yeah.
Is just like, especially playing against him, you can feel it the most, right? When you're trying to
oh yeah,
punish Ryan, like put it at his feet or put it in his body or something. Ryan just kind of finds a way to.
He makes clean contact.
Yeah,
I think that's what really helps him in the transition zone.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, he uses that Ben John's Yola paddle.
And he has like the funky grip. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a.
Yeah, he does. He honest, like, he kind of reminds me of like Riley Newman in his
yes.
He has that kind of like pancake forehand. But wait, that's something you kind of see mostly him doing on the kitchen line, the non-volley line, more so than the transition zone. But yeah, he really, I think, favors his backhand. Mm-hmm. And does exactly not many miss hits with Ryan. He might hit it too high, but he's gonna hit it. He's gonna hit it clean.
Let's see here. Serve, return. Yeah, I think that's like one miss serve the entire match. I mean, really shouldn't have missed any, but like that's pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm. I remember I was actually trying to bring my serve a little bit.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
like, because I've been trying to, we talk a lot about the shake and bake, but one thing I was joking around with Alex, which is true, it was like, I think it's important to preheat your shake and bake. And by this, I mean you gotta bring it on your serve, because a deep serve will then elicit a short return, which will then just set you up for success on the shake and bakes. So I think I was trying to preheat that ball a little bit on the serve. So I think, yeah, if I wasn't going for my serve, I'd agree I shouldn't have missed any, or we shouldn't have missed any, but I remember I was.
Nice. I mean, if it's not reflected in the return numbers, which I mean, 3% returns miss, I think your theory is pretty well supported in the third shot breakdown in terms of how often you guys made them. Like, I think you guys set yourself up with reasonable third shots.
Yeah, it's a good point. We weren't stepping back on a lot of our thirds. We were able to kind of step into our thirds.
Yep.
Yeah, I hit a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, that was. I don't even remember it, but yeah.
Interesting. Like, Matt, I don't think he didn't drive the entire time. I don't think it's good or bad. Just worth noting.
He was very consistent, I will say. I really felt like I wanted to do more on my fourth shots when he hit his thirds to me, which he hit a lot of his thirds to me because I was on the left most of the time. But I remember, yeah, like we'll play a clip later where I do hit an Ernie, I think, off of the third shot. But besides that, yeah, he wasn't a lot of juice to squeeze on his thirds.
Yeah.
So he hit good drops.
To your point earlier about preheating with your serve, I mean, you can see on the graph here, but how many third shot drives do you think you missed? I'll tell you, you hit.
I don't think I missed many. I don't think I missed many. Maybe I missed like one or two long, but I don't remember missing any short.
You didn't miss any.
I didn't miss any. Wow.
Yeah.
So maybe honestly, I'll say I think one of the times I hit my third long, they ended up hitting it. You know what I'm saying? Like they ended up saving me. So That is one, if you're gonna make an error, you want to hit it long rather than hitting it, because you always have the outs that your opponent will take the bait, or you hit it too hard, but it's just square in the middle of their chest, so they don't have time to react. So I'm really proud of myself for that. I also think I was telling myself, like, don't overhit my thirds, because I have a tendency to overhit my third, and then actually, ironically, I'll hit it short. I'll top it too much.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it doesn't go over the net. So,
yeah, you did not miss a drive.
That's insane.
And Ryan did not miss a drop, which does not shock me
Yeah,
in the
that
slightest.
doesn't
No.
I mean, seriously, like, I think, you put us up against, like, not to say Peyton and Matt aren't a good team, they're a really good team, but you put us up against a better team, right? And we were able to put up those kind of numbers.
You're going to give yourself chances.
Oh, 100%. Like, we could beat pro teams.
Like, look at
Those
this.
kinds of results.
Ryan, all right, hit 12 drops. You guys basically got up to the kitchen 3/4 of the time.
Wow.
You won almost 60% of those rallies. Like, your win rate on your drive, which definitely the most frequented third shot, along with Matt's drop. Like, no errors. You're winning half those rallies, which for the serving team is really good.
Yeah.
And you got to the kitchen line almost half the time. And granted, getting the kitchen line isn't necessarily like the best indicator, but I don't know. How did you guys feel getting to the kitchen? Like, was that a desirable outcome?
I think so. Yeah. I think that a lot of my third shot drives, exactly as I said, I wasn't trying to overhit them. Like, I kind of realized that, like, I wasn't really going to be able to bully Matt or Peyton much with my drive, but I was more using it as a tool to drive the third, make solid contact, maybe get some top till it dips over the net, but then just play the fifth shot drop and then transition either on that shot or hopefully the next. And I feel like when we were dinking, yeah, I mean, Ryan's an incredible dinker. And he does really well at defending himself. I feel like I was feeling creative. I even hit a pretzel shot in this match, I'm pretty sure.
Was that the
The little Kyle Yates, or the flippity floop, as it might be known as well in certain circles. So yeah, I felt like that was a desirable outcome. We wanted to transition and go to dinks.
nice? Yeah, I mean, not surprised when the left side players are taking more thirds.
Yeah.
Did you target any return or no?
Did I target to who I wanted to hit the return?
Yeah.
I actually kind of remember Peyton's drive was giving us trouble in the first game. So I actually kind of remember wanting to hit more to a Matt. I think I did realize that he wasn't driving, but I didn't realize he never drove. Yeah, I would have thought that. I'm actually surprised he never drove. But maybe I'm just conflating, like, Peyton driving, thought it was Matt. So I think, yeah, we were just kind of more comfortable, like, yeah, we can hit to Matt, he'll drop, and then we'll settle into a dink rally and find our way.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, 12% error rate on 25 drops, pretty good. 44% win rate, it's pretty good. Definitely the highest third shot strategy that their team deployed in this match. Like, I think he must hit 3 errors on his drive.
Okay, but so Peyton's drive, 11 drives, error percentage 27%, win percentage.
So they won on 3 of those 11 rallies.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, pretty low sample size. But...
Yeah, if I had to guess too, I bet you that was probably mostly in game 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's take a closer look at these thirds. So from Peyton and Matt. Matt was so consistent where he's putting his third. Like, to him, it didn't really matter who was hitting the return. It was just like, I'm gonna hit what most people consider the most effective third shot drop when you have a righty-righty matchup.
Just going across to the backhand.
Yep.
Just dropping to their backhand.
Exactly. Yeah, like, and I actually bet these shots are a little further over here. Some data entry. Like some margin for error. But
yeah, and also, I mean, like, so that's where we made contact, right?
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I remember, like, I really wanted to take a lot of those as volleys. I wanted to earn a bunch of them, and maybe I even could have but I think I just didn't want to take those risks. But a lot of times, what I was doing is I was just taking a step off those shots and then just ripping the fourth shot, like a la Matt Wright, just attacking off the bounce, trying to take that ball on its apex, and then just hitting it probably Peyton, because Matt was usually like back off the drop. He had hit the third, so he was going for the back. Peyton's trying to put some pressure on them. I was like, I'm just going to rip it right at Peyton's body. And that's after watching Matt Wright at DCPPA live, I was really impressed with how effective he was at just
Fourth off bounce.
forced off the bounce, ripping into people's bodies, and almost just kind of like bullying them. Like, hey, like you got to earn your transition. Like, you're not going to be able to just come up here without consequences. So I am trying to take a page out of his book. So,
Well, that'd be nice, given that your channel is Fourth Shot Pickleball.
hey man, I know I got to do a 4-shot video one of these days.
Let's take a look at your stuff. All right, so
Jeez, I'm driving the shit out of the ball.
yeah, you're burying it. Like, is this just wherever the returner is? Is there like a rhyme and reason?
I think I like, yeah, I really am a big believer of like wanting to be unpredictable. Like, so that's the thing. Like, you know, Matt, you looked at Matt drops, right? He dropped every time, right? So I knew that he was dropping, and then he always got to the same spot. So look, I'm not trying to say anything about a strategy, but you know, I knew what I was getting. So I think that there's value in mixing up your shots. And I think that this is a good representation of that. Like, I'm trying to rip at the person who's transitioning sometimes. I'm trying to rip middle at the lowest part of the net. I'm trying to go body. I'm trying to go up the line. Like, I don't want you to know where or what I'm going to do with my third. And I think this is a pretty good testament to me actually like executing my goal of being unpredictable.
Actually, Ryan did something pretty similar. I know I personally struggle with hitting drops from the right side,
Yeah, same.
but like if you drop it cross court, which generally gives you the best angle, you're probably letting them hit it forehand.
Yeah.
If you drop it on the line here, it's just a higher part of the net less for it to work with.
And also sets you up to getting earning. You know, if you have someone who's very confident in that shot, they can bring a lot of pressure. Going to close the door on that.
That's why I think the right side player, if your right side player can hit good drops in a righty-righty matchup, like that's even better. Like you know, that's even harder to do from the right side than the left side.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Also, like credit to Ryan, credit to the improvements he's made in his game, and yeah, I mean, it's really impressive.
All right, let's get some kitchen rallies here. All right, a 1 in 5 rallies actually had sustained dinking, so that's I think 3 consecutive dinks in a row.
Okay.
It's a little low, which is not a good or bad thing. Just a kind of flow of the match.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is like so clear that you're right about taking just when you saw a dink,
Mm-hmm.
you saw an opening,
Mm-hmm.
you just went for it. Whereas Matt was like, he definitely was more willing to engage into the backhand dink rally.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he only made 3 errors on 71 dinks. I actually thought his dinking was really good. Yeah.
No, for sure. For sure. I will say I think Matt's game was a little bit more like he was waiting for us to make an error rather than like beating us with his things, like putting a lot of spin, right? Mixing up his locations a lot. Like, you know, Matt's kind of waiting. Matt's game is kind of like, I'm going to be really consistent. I'm going to let you kind of make the mistakes. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, hey, they got to the gold medal match. So that's not, and it was a strong field with only 7 teams, but right. I think maybe that's Matt's thing is like for him to get to the next level, he needs to realize that he needs to put some offense in his game, put some variety in his shots, like take a page out of Peyton's book and learn, you know, not learn to attack. I'm sure he knows how to do it, but just, you know, have the confidence to mix it up in the high pressure moments in a tournament.
I think that's actually a good reminder that a lot of these stats, while they can try and tell a story of a match, like they don't capture everything.
Yeah.
Like Matt was hitting more conservative things.
Yeah.
So like yes, his error rate's lower. Doesn't necessarily mean that less aggressive dinks are better, But I mean, also have merit. Like if you're missing 4% of your games, you're probably doing something right. Yeah, I think that goes for the entire report. Like it is very helpful, but you also need to watch the match, right?
Yeah, you need to watch the match, and to your point, like this is only 3 games, right? I mean, 850 shots sounds like a lot, but right, it's probably not big enough pool to really like draw some massive conclusions.
Ryan not making a dink error.
No,
Shocker.
no, I mean that is. I don't know. Like I played with Ryan on Friday. Today's Sunday, and yeah, he makes mistakes. Like the legend. But yeah, that's amazing. That's really amazing. And like that's the other thing that kind of I don't know if you're ever gonna maybe. Actually, this I think would be a good thing for Pickleball. There's always I've thought about this before. Like, would you rather be the team that comes through the losers bracket in the gold, where you're like, whatever, 6-0 in your last matches because you just go on some massive run in the back draw. You're not waiting a lot in between your matches because there's always your next match to play in the back draw. Someone's always losing. The people in the gold, on the other hand, they're playing less matches. Yes, they're fresher, but I remember when Ryan and I played this match, like we had been waiting for like 2 hours, and we got on a court and warmed up a little bit before, but like, yeah. So it'd actually be interesting to see like who would, because that's like we drop the first and win the next 2.
Yeah.
Right. How often does the team that comes out of loser win the first?
Yeah. That's a good question.
And then maybe like is it better to be the gold team? Sorry, be the team that comes through the winners bracket, or do you want to be the team that comes through the losers bracket in that gold match? Very situational, but maybe something to consider. Maybe we can actually get some hard data.
Yeah. I'll look at it after the timeout analysis.
True.
Which actually, there's a guy on the Discord channel that's been grinding on the timeout stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do you want to just say a little bit about what that is about?
Okay. Very high level, like anyone who's listened to Pickleball, professional Pickleball commentators, and this is not just commentators, this is like everyone. Like, gotta use the timeout to stop the momentum. Like, hey, who has ever showed that momentum exists? No one. It feels real. Personally, I don't buy it. But, and so when we're inputting data for reports like this, we also track when teams took a timeout. And so the idea is that we can tell, like, did the timeout actually do anything? So hopefully we have a paper with that at some point.
We can't wait.
All right, dinks visualized. So this is every dink that was hit, where they're being placed. You can see some of them have a little red circle around them. That's just where indicates a dink error.
Yeah.
And Peyton's are far few between here, just taking something. Matt, engaged in that cross court pattern quite a bit. Also took it down the line. Didn't really go middle at all, which I don't know, take it or leave it. What do you think about dinking middle?
I think it's very underrated, and honestly, I think it's important to do, and I think a lot of times it's easier to execute. Like you're talking about the lowest part of the net, 34 inches as opposed to like 36 inches on the sideline. So I think you're probably not going to make errors as often into the net. And I think that a lot of times people expect you to go wide just because of like this graph, for example, right? Like everyone kind of expects the dink to go wide, the cross-court dink to go to the sideline. And I think when you mix it up and put it in the middle, even it can be kind of a dead shot, but you'll get a miscommunication between your opponents.
Do you think you followed your advice? I don't remember.
Did I follow my advice?
In this match.
In this match, I'm gonna say probably no. I think I went cross a lot with Matt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, no one went middle.
It's also easier to go middle when someone else goes.
That's true.
So it's almost kind of like who started the cross court. The ball's on an angle.
Mm-hmm.
It's much harder to go middle, but yeah.
Yeah, I think if there's any critique to have with your game, like I think you ended up making. Let's see here. Oh, this is just talking about the direction. Um, I think just like looking at the straight percentage versus like the cross percentage is always a little interesting. Like you definitely took uh like 3/4 of your dink at least cross court, if not like really cross court.
Right.
Whereas like uh, yeah, like Ryan. Yeah, Ryan's a good example where
He did a lot.
he would push a little more down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which kind of with like that flat push pancake style grip,
Yeah.
you get a little more of.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Ryan's just really good at that. And yeah, I think also like so Ryan was on the right most of the match, and he was in front of Matt most of the time in the match, as I remember. And Matt is kind of more like pinching. I feel like whoever is the person on the left. So in this case, Peyton and Matson was Matt. Matt was kind of squeezing more in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it kind of
Keeping down the line.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It doesn't make as much sense for me as the person on the left to go down the line as much because it's not like the line was open super hard because Peyton mostly stayed home in the middle of his box.
Also, that's his forehand right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he has a nice forehand.
I think players in the right generally go down the line a little more.
Yeah,
Tracks.
I think when I can just say anecdotally, I think I end up going down the line more when I'm on the right side.
Yep. 100%. All right. Final section here. Let's take a look at some errors.
There is the real meat and potatoes.
Huh.
Why we're here.
All right. Surprise, surprise. The winning team hit less errors. Hey, look, you have the less error.
That's rare. That's rare.
And again, like,
Surprise the hits. Oh, okay, right. I hit more shots because I took more thirds. Than Ryan.
more games as well.
More days.
Like to the left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the left side player in these righty matches, like, they're not necessarily hitting more balls because they take that much more court. I mean, they often will in the third, but like, it's just that backhand dink rally just builds shot volume over time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and I think like Peyton's high error rate is in large part due to, I mean, he doesn't get the benefit of hitting 100 dinks, like reducing that rate.
Yeah.
And he's like speed up, and like a lot of hand battles result in an error.
Mm-hmm.
They're not necessarily unforced errors, but they're like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And I think I mostly attacked Peyton because mostly Peyton was in front of me. And I'm the one who's trying to jam him up more.
Yep. I think earlier you mentioned like using heavy topspin, missing a lot of your thirds into the net.
Mm-hmm.
You can go through in this match.
Um,
So your errors in general. You think you're going longer in the net?
I think they were going in the net.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a look here. Like all but one of your errors in the net.
Like it's like a transition shot, basically, right into the net.
Yeah, the beige ones are dinks.
Oh, I see.
I like the bird is like not rectangles.
Yeah. Okay, so it needs to be
Okay.
right. Okay.
The pinks are others, so those are usually transition shots or hand battles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do know that yeah, that's also one of those things. I tell myself to be big, and I also kind of tell myself to like buy margin, right? Like don't leave the short. I say that a lot to myself. Of course, I can't just manifest what I want all the time, but yeah, I know that I need to. Like that's just something. Like, I watched the pros, and I got to play in the pro division at Boca this past weekend. The Boca International Masters. And yeah, I made way too many unforced errors. I just put way too many things in the net. And the pros, they hit high shots all the time. They just have good defense to kind of scrap for the next 2-3 balls to get back in the point. So sometimes I feel like I need to be too perfect, and I just got to remind myself that
High percentage, man. Make them play.
Yep, high percentage pickleball, exactly.
Cool. Well, that is the report. You want to look at a couple clips?
Yeah,
It's a little more fun.
yeah.
All right. Let's see here.
we had some really really fun points, which is always like just makes pickleball like the most fun sport in my opinion. Like these longer rallies that just go on endlessly. And that's a really good reason to continue to get better at pickleball as you just get better at this. So this is, I think, in game 2 of the match. Oh, we're buffering.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, it's rough. Not sure why.
10-16.
Yeah, I'll just click on your comment. I don't know why we're buffering. Let's tell you what, I think I can just pull up. I can pull it up here. 1704, I think was. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Start stacking.
So we got Matt serving, Ryan returning a serve. Yeah, there's that 2-minute backhand. I'm telling you, I'm doing more.
Yes, it's a classic pattern. Ryan going on the line with the step. Oh.
We'll attack off the bounce, maybe a little premature feet on line.
Yeah, that's good ball right there.
See, you notice I'm also running around a lot of my backhands, which I think I was noticed I was doing really well watching this film back. I think I really need to do that more.
There's a lot of variety in this one. Counter.
Another 2-minute backhand coming on.
Good transition. Defense.
This is Ryan being Ryan right here. What a drop.
Let's go!
Yeah, that was big time. That was a really big time play. And yeah, this was we had to win this game to avoid going to the game in 15. So gotta love that. Let's get down to 14:37.
So you guys stacking on serve. I actually realized before I play it, they were out of their stack on return a lot. Like they got caught a lot of odds.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like trying to like they weren't just stacking well,
or like they wouldn't always stack on the return. They usually did, and they very often lost serve on an odd number, so they weren't in their like quote unquote preferred configuration.
I see.
Which is like sometimes kind of unfortunate. But I'd be interested to see how well they did in each.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Pretty preheated serve right there.
Oh wow.
I could have volleyed that one, but
Good counter. I like to take
this is some pretty like biting down on the mouthpiece and just swinging from the transition down.
Oh, well,
yeah, no, I feel like that's a really great earning pressure. I'm not sure if he got any of those in that match, but
I don't think he did.
Yeah,
Anytime's just going for it today.
Oh, definitely. You might look like an ass doing it, especially in front of your wife, which happened to me a lot this tournament. But it's all about just putting the pressure, as you said. So I think.
Oh, great timeout.
I'm sure this is actually a point I want to watch, but.
Oh
yeah. See, and that's an example. Like when I try to cover my line with my one-handed backhand, I feel like I do that a lot. I'm not able to curl it back into the court.
I feel like I get caught behind myself a lot.
Exactly. Exactly. And when it's behind me, my paddle face is a little bit more like open to the sideline here, as opposed to when I have my two-hand on there. Now, I'm keeping it more in front of me, and then when I'm making contact, my paddle's angled more towards into the court.
Yeah.
So, I think, here's the point we want to watch here.
Oh
yeah! Let's take a look one more time.
Wait, how far do you like? I didn't even think that drop was that cross court.
And I think, no, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, you basically covered maybe 15% into it. Yeah, I feel like that needs to be something that I'm going for more often.
and especially with a player like Ryan, who can just come and pick that shot up if I don't get there.
How often do you think you make that shot?
Like hit it in or hit it as a winner.
Hit it either as a winner or like in where it's like a respectable shot and not like pop up.
I actually think pretty high.
Yeah.
I think pretty high. Yeah. I'd say probably like 75% of the time.
Whoa.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't go for it. That's what I'm saying. I think I'm a little bit too conservative. And interesting that I think it probably would have been, like, I think most people, like the pros I watch, they do that mostly with their backhand, that sharp angle.
Yeah. But I think you can do it with your forehand. I think your bowling ball grip actually looks really well for that shot.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, it's because I'm essentially hitting like an inside out forehand
Yep.
with this ball.
Like yeah, your bowling ball grip like lets the paddle face drop. You
Yeah.
can reach a little more with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, clean.
Definitely made it clean too. Yeah. That's good stuff. I mean, those are some of the highlights of the match. Definitely catch the rest of it. And if you're interested in Picklemarting your own match,
Hit us up.
yeah, how would people go about doing that?
Oh yeah. You can check out the website at pklmart.com. That's pklmart.com. You can email us at pklmart.analytics@gmail.com. If you're interested in chatting or working with the data or producing a match or like one of these analyses for your own match, definitely reach out.
Awesome. Dude, thank you so much. I know you put in a lot of time on this. I know you put in a lot of time doing this match for me and Ryan and Peyton and Matt. So thank you so much, brother.
Dude,
I
it's
appreciate
fun.
it. Yeah. And stay tuned for more content from Pickleball and /Pickleball. Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace.